Welcome back, everybody. This is James Kushnerek here live for the second of my two podcasts tonight on Real Steel Sports on Spreaker Web Radio. This segment will be an extension of the first one. I discussed Djokovic and Gasquet, who I thought would win that. You'll have to listen to find out who I think will win that. And in this one, I'll be discussing the other men's semifinal between Roger Federer and Andy Murray. Now, this one has a lot more complexity to it than the previous one. Whereas Djokovic led the head-to-head between him and Gasquet 12-1, Federer holds a slight 12-11 lead, but has taken 3 of the 4 previous matches. Actually, has taken 4 of the 5 previous matches. My bad. And the way that Roger Federer and Andy Murray have played this year, their run of form has been spectacular. Both of them won a warm-up tournament before Wimbledon on grass, Murray winning in Queens and Federer winning in Halle, Germany, and both of them winning their first 5 matches here. So they're both on 10-match winning streaks and undefeated on grass this year. As of right now, this match is a pick'em. I will discuss throughout the entirety of this podcast who I think will win, and I'm going to break it down shot by shot. Let's start off with who has the advantage on the serve. Federer this tournament has been serving a great percentage. He's been hitting his aces, been hitting his spots, and he's been looking very well. And I've often thought that his serve has gotten better as he's gotten older. And I think it's been a number one reason why he stayed number 2, 3 in the world for as long as he has. But Murray's serve is not a slouch either. His percentage has gradually increased throughout the course of his career, and the speed has always been the 120, 125 range, so it's been a very, very respectable serve. But to be honest, if I had to pick a serve, I'd go with Federer's because of its consistency, because of the fact that Federer in clutch moments hits his targets better than many of the big servers we've come to know and idolize, such as historically Roddick, Ivanisevic. He's in Samper's category with the stuff he's doing on his serve. So I would take Federer in the serve. The forehand is a clear edge to Federer, not so much on consistency, but more or less on versatility and power, and the fact that he can absorb pace so well on grass, and his forehand is a perfect grass court forehand. The grip, just grip and rip, just let it fly, inside out, up the line, cross court, down the middle, passing shot, lob, you name it. And he disguises it with his drop shot so well, much better than Murray. Murray's is known to be very consistent, rock solid, get the forehand back in the court, maybe play a couple shots on the run, but that's about it. Federer, in my opinion, has the better forehand, and historically it's one of the 2 or 3 greatest forehands that we have ever seen. It's up there with Lendl. It's up there with Agassi. It's up there with Bjorn Borg. Great historical forehands, and his is right in the mix. And in my opinion, in the modern day game, it's the best that we've seen. The backhand is an edge to Murray because Federer in his heyday with his one-hander was able to handle pace, was able to give it back, was able to slice. His reaction time and his reflex are just a touch slower than they used to be. And his backhand, I think, has showed that more than any other shot. If Murray's going to have a chance to win this match, he's going to have to exploit that. Because Murray's backhand is one of the best two-handers in the game. Rock solid, steady, plays great defense, passing shots, you name it. He's able to return very well. He just has all the tools when it comes to his two-hander. So Andy Murray gets the edge off the backhand clearly in comparison to Federer. The volleys is an edge to Federer because right now, going for him, he is the best volleyer in the game. Right now he is. Because his net game, ever since he started he hooked up with Stefan Edberg, has gotten so good. He is able to come forward and use his net game as an X factor. He's doing it in a way that, see, when he first started on the tour, he came in the net too much. And then when he was number 1 in the world, he didn't really have to because he had his backhand and his forehand to boot. But now that all this backhand and his forehand have kind of regressed just a little bit, and his consistency and his speed aren't what he used to be, he's coming to net to make points a little bit quicker. And if you look at the way he attacks his opponent coming forward, he's been able to do it in the past to Murray, to Djokovic, to even other great baseliners like Nadal even. He's been able to come forward a little bit. So if you ask me right now, Federer's the best volleyer in the men's game. Murray's a good volleyer too. He's got great reach and great wingspan because he's 6'3", and he takes advantage of his height and his length. But as touch goes and in terms of power and redirecting pace, Federer, I think, has the edge in this category. The return of serve. Federer in his prime would make this a push. but Murray right now has the edge in the fact that he's going to get more serves back and the fact that he's able to read the return, and his two-hander off the ground basically on grass can negate just about any kick serve because it's only going to bounce right into his wheelhouse, and Federer's going to have to find a way to serve around that. On the flip side, Federer has played several big servers this tournament. He's played Samuel Groth. And that was a great test because Groth is one of the biggest serves in the game's history. And Federer's able to block a lot of his back. So I look for Federer to play a little bit more offensively than he did against Groth. I mean, Gilles Simon, you can't really use the reference because he didn't have much of a serve to begin with. But Murray served constantly in the 120, 125, even sometimes 130 range. Federer is not going to have to worry about as much because he saw off Roddick, he saw off Karlovic, he saw off Isner, all those guys in their heyday without much effort. I mean, let's look at 2003. Roddick was averaging like 20-something aces a match when he came into the semi. Federer held him to 4. Now, I know Federer's reflexes in returning isn't what it used to be, but think about it this way. He is still a damn good returner of serve. So what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to chip it and make Murray have to come up with the offense, which gives Federer a chance to either A, get some free errors, or B, get a short ball, which he can take advantage of with his forehand. Murray's goals are to get the serve back and to limit the amount of free points Federer gets. So by that nature, you give the edge to Murray because he's trying to openly hamper what Federer's doing. And I think that that's worthy of a little bit of an edge here. Now, if we're going to talk about the movement around the court, again, this is one of those things where Murray right now has the edge, but historically it'd be a push. Federer on grass, though, I will say, is the best mover on any surface I've ever seen. People want to talk about how quick Michael Jordan was on the hardwood playing in the NBA. Or people want to talk about, how fast Bullet Bob Hayes was in the NFL, which is a name going way back. Or how fast certain guys like Mike Wallace are. Or other great speedsters like Bo Jackson, how quickly they were able to move. Barry Sanders, how they were just look so comfortable in how they moved. That's Federer on grass. He's taken what those guys did and took it to another level because he moves on grass better than Nadal moves on clay, which is really saying something considering Nadal has 9 Frenches. But besides the point, Murray on grass in his career has steadily been getting better to the point where he can rely on his movement now consciously, and he doesn't have to think about it. He sees a shot, tracks down, just go. He doesn't have to think about it anymore. He moves very well on this surface. By my nature, because Federer's so good on grass, it's a push. Intangibles, in my opinion, I think you kind of have to give the edge to Murray because Federer at 33 is not going to have many more chances left. He turns 34 about a month from now. He does not have much in the way of time left when it comes to Grand Slams. Think about it like this. He's 33 and he's more desperate now. And when you're desperate, you kind of maybe make a few more errors than you normally would. Murray is 28, 29 years old. Could be 29. He's 28 years old. He has time left. He's still young. He's got the movement edge in terms of defending right now. We can talk about movement all they want. Right now, defending, Murray is better than Federer. That's going to be a play on Federer's mind, and he might go for a little more than he wants to, which would give Murray some errors, some games, and potentially the match here if Murray played his cards right. Federer will win this match if he serves out of his mind. Federer's going to need a 26-27 ace, 3-4 double fault performance if he wants to beat Murray. He's going to have to serve well, and he's going to have to be limiting his mistakes on his forehand. Because in the past, a lot of the matches he's lost to Murray. Whether it be the Australian Open match a few years ago, littered the stat sheet with forehand errors. Or whether it be the Olympic final a few years back when Murray just blew Federer away, a lot of forehand errors. The last few times Murray played Federer, Federer was able to cut down on that. 3 times last year, Federer played Murray and only dropped 1 set. And one of them was a 6-0, 6-1 beatdown at the World Tour Finals, ironically enough, in London. But we're not going to see that again. Because Murray is playing infinitely better than he was then. And the fact that it's best of 5 means Federer's got to keep up that level for a little longer, which might play on him. Murray will win this match if he goes out there and just is Murray, which is play rock solid off the baseline and don't give Federer an inch. Return his serve and put it back on him and limit Federer's free points. When you get into the rally with Murray and it goes 4 or 5 shots, Murray eventually is going to find a way to get the ball past you by either you coming in prematurely or just by you making a mistake in where your movement is. Federer, what he's going to have to do to negate that is he's going to have to try to keep the points short, because even though he gets a day off between the semi and the final, if he goes 5 against Murray and has to play Djokovic, that could be a problem for him physically, because he is 33. He's not 24, 25 anymore and can just bounce right back like that, like a snap of his fingers. He can't do that. But this match right here is going to be as tough a one for me to call as any I've had to make in a while. I'm usually pretty accurate when I pick Federer and Murray. The 2010 Australian Open final, a lot of people were pegging Murray to win his first major, and I said Federer would beat him in straights, and I was right. I said in a Wimbledon final, when Federer won his most recent major, I said that he was going to win his 17th, and I was correct. At the Australian Open, my dad in 2014 was pretty concerned that Murray was going to take Federer out on the route to a semi against Nadal. And Federer, I said, nah, Federer's still got a little more time left in him. I think Federer will win. But I did also say that the Olympic final that Federer would not have enough steam left after beating Del Potro in that third set epic. And I was right. So I've been pretty good on picking Murray-Federer in the big matches. And for my money right now, I know he's the older guy. I know Murray's the young gun with the speed and the brain right now of one of the best in the world. But in my opinion right now, Roger Federer is going to beat Murray and be in his contending for his 8th Wimbledon title. And here's my reasoning as to why. Federer this tournament has literally faced every single kind of opponent. A baseliner, a huge server, a guy who can mix it up. He's had to go against every kind of opponent, and Murray's going to present that all in one package, so he's not like he's going to be alienated. Number 2, he's played Murray on grass twice already in his career. They've split the meetings, but Federer knows what to do against Murray. And I think another big edge that Federer has is the fact that on grass, Murray may be playing on grass the best of his career, but Roger Federer, when he gets to Wimbledon and he's having a good year, you can never ever say that you can predict somebody can beat him. In my opinion, you have to give him the healthy respect and say he is the man to beat. And I think he is the man to beat because on grass, Federer looks like he has all the time in the world, the way he's able to set up in his forehand. The fact is, off the return, the kick serve of Murray that Murray has used in the past on hardcourt against Roger is not going to bounce up too high. Federer's going to be able to chip it and get an advantage in the points. Murray does have one edge in the fact that if Federer is not being pinpoint accurate, Murray's going to make him pay. But for my money right now, if we're picking the winner of this semifinal between Federer and Murray, I think you go with Federer, and I think you go in 5 sets. I think Federer and Murray will split the first 2. I think maybe Murray takes a 2-1 lead. I think Federer storms back to win the 4th and then wins the 5th, maybe 6-4. That's how I feel this is going to play out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my preview of the second semifinal between Roger Federer and Andy Murray. I hope you guys catch my earlier segment about the match between Djokovic and Gasquet. I hope you guys enjoyed, and take care and have a good one, everybody.